you haven't seen the video yet, it's on the official YouTube page. You can also get there through the in-game news. I think they put it right there directly. If we go to Star Trek Fleet Command, we're going to mute the sound. Oh, hang on a second. So there's the video right here with the new Excelsior. I'll put the link in just in case. So you can see the Excelsior has two abilities. Deflect right to decloak hidden V'ger fighter ship. Looks like what's going on? V'ger fighting ship? Like what are we doing there? Now we're just totally crossing timelines here. Then it has an enhanced ability, which also is a buff ability for other ships. Helps all your ships, apparently. It's a short video. It's only 2.5 minutes. See if we can get any stats on the actual Excelsior. We get any stats on it when they're building it? Okay. So it's a G5 ship. It's a G5 Epic. 51 plus to build. Base value of this test account is showing at 212 million power, which is about a fraction of a standard epic. So obviously special abilities are going to be more, or specialty research is going to be more important here. V'ger has returned and they're back for a vengeance. We're going to get the bald chick and Commodore Decker. So basically, you kill the hostiles, you get loot, you get a new refinery to turn in that loot. It will get you the ability to get the blueprints for the ship. So if you don't have the ship already, if you didn't buy it, this will be your sourcing. Be right in here through the refinery. You've got some titles, aka cosmetics. 26 weeks and 52 weeks to unlock. No, thank you. No indication as to what the Excelsior help timeline will take. And then you also have the standard refinery for parts to upgrade the ship that you don't have yet. V'ger 2, V'ger harder. Year of Hell Part 2. Yeah, it's... I mean, obviously it could be that weird timeline. You know, they've talked a few times. They've dropped little Easter eggs in like Picard and some of the other shows about, you know, what Sulu did after Kirk retired and how he was captain of the Excelsior for so long, blah 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 blah. And Uhura eventually got her own ship too. And spoiler alert: Uhura and Sulu are your two officers this month. Compliments of the VIP magazine. That's information that's already been out there and released and shared and passed around. So I feel no shame whatsoever about talking about them here today. No idea what their abilities and things will be. Obviously, very cool artwork. The art department also kicking ass there. The Excelsior also has research bonuses. So similar to, like, I guess a Cerritos or a Titan. Here's all your new currencies, because we need more of those. Clogging up our inventory that they still haven't sorted out any better yet. Hey, 5 new currencies. All right. We get ship parts, research parts, energy containment. That's probably what you're going to use for the boost. Then you've got your challenge credits. And then you're also getting the rare proto matter and tear up catalysts. It looks like as well. It looks like there will be a new prototype tech, the transwarp computer. Okay. These are the new. You're getting the tech materials. You've got the research to boost the ship's warp range, hull health, shield health. If we can stop it in between. So we've got hull health, shield health, impulse speed, enhanced PvE Apex shred ability, a boosting isolytic damage against the V'ger hostiles and ISO defense against them. You also get some more Apex barrier here. Here's PvP barrier and shred abilities. Enhanced PvP crit damage reduction. G5 FKR PvP ISO defense and Apex barrier. And then PvE ISO defense and weapon damage. So boosting your FKR ships. So I guess trying to make them a little more useful and bring them back up to the same power curve as a lot of the specialty ships. People have kind of foregone some of the FKR ships in lieu of the Vindicator, the GS-31, the relativity, stuff like that, because they don't have quite the restrictions and the ops gates and they're easier to acquire. Instead of spending millions of faction credits on the FKR ships and then needing the ship parts and all the rare and epic resources, they'd rather put those into buildings. So now they're trying to give those ships additional research that may boost them and make them more desirable. All of which seems reasonable. Looks like this will all be in the Starship tree after the GS-31 buffs, so all the way at the end. Let's continue. Increases the ISO defense versus V'ger hostiles of your deployed ships when enhanced is applied by the Excelsior. Okay, so obviously this is what's going to trigger the buffs. If they have a base value, that's great. And then obviously if it gets the research boosts it even higher. Again, similar to what the Cerritos and Titan kind of do. And then the ship itself also has increasing its isolytic damage against V'ger fighters by that 500,000. Increasing Apex barrier against V'ger fighters by, Jesus, what is this, like 50 million? 500 million? 500 million Apex barrier? Yeah, if you don't have the ship, Comma Prime is not active. I agree, Strider. Good to see. Yeah, can we put some commas in there, please? I know that's a problem because some of the Euros use decimal points instead of commas for stuff, but at least some type of spacing. Can we just change the font color? you we just use black for the thousands and or the tens, and red for the thousands, and blue for the millions, and at least something to break it up a little bit there. Yeah, it's gonna be curious to see if this is tier one of the Excelsior. So how much ISO defense and you know damage do these new hostiles throw around that you're gonna need this level of buff to take them down on a tier one ship? Are they just overcompensating so much and it's like, well, you can still do them with your regular ship, but we're gonna make them super easy round one kills if you buy the new thing? Or is it these things are ridiculous and you're going to be punching down so low it's not even going to be worth doing? Everyone either better buy the ship or you're just going to skip this loop and wait until the ship shows up in an event store and then you'll start it 6 to 12 months down the road. I don't know. I do know from listening to Rev talk the last few weeks, he's pretty much said that he's known about this ship for a while and he's known about this arc for a while. And he said it's heavily paywalled and a lot of people are probably just going to end up taking the month off. That's not encouraging if that's accurate. Obviously, things get tweaked between development and design and testing and actual release and launch phase. But just looking at these values from the test environment, it is a little discouraging. If a tier 1 ship needs this level of buffs to make the new content manageable, it's definitely going to require some significant punch down, and that really might not make it it worth it for a lot of people to do it unless they're just going to go use their dauntless and go hit some level 51 hostiles just at the entry point to the loop with their dauntless just to do a little generic farming to get a little bit of the materials so that way they can at least, if nothing else, start sourcing the ship faster. That may be what people end up doing. We'll have to wait and see upon the actual release what these things look like, but we'll just have to wait and see. And then we get from here, we get our two new challenges, right? Mitigating damage with Apex Barrier versus V'ger ships. Defeating V'ger ships at your ops level. So the two new things require you to basically, this one is kill things of your own ops level, and this one is mitigate damage with Apex Barrier. I'm guessing this is, we don't know what level this account is. I don't think we've seen yet, but the range on it is 64 to 69. So we'll guess it's somewhere in the mid to high 60s. Maybe you're getting two up and two down. Well, you can't exactly quite get that, but so there's still very little flexibility in terms of punching down and being able to complete this task if you wanted to. There's also a challenge track. Okay. Well, the challenge track in here, I guess by doing those daily challenges, you earn points. Those extra points will get you shards of our new officer Uhura that we can see, as well as there's some outpost stuff. And then here's some of the other new currencies in there as well. I'm guessing there's also a store. That's the new battle pass. Well, yeah, it's the challenge track, right? So I guess I think of it akin a little more to a field training than a battle pass, unless there's a separate paid component for it. But I actually, but it does seem like it resets. So we're kind of somewhere in the middle. It's one part field training, one part daily goal, battle pass esque kind of thing. Pirate King, thank you for the follow. VK, good to see you. Welcome on in. Yeah. So there's a little something going on here. You'll have to do the challenges, which will require killing the things. And I mean, obviously, it'll be a fun challenge. People trying to figure out and test different crews and find ways to kill this stuff without the ship. Because, of course, the ship is the easy solution. But for those people who do like more of a challenge, who like playing on hard mode, or just don't like spending money on the game, or can't this time of year, I'm sure we're going to have to get creative with some different crewing styles and things to try to accomplish some of this stuff. I look forward to that challenge in the first week. Tarpy says if the only way to get the stuff, you're going to steal other people's hostels, or yeah. or stealing their loot, right? Well, you won't get credit for killing the stuff, but obviously, if like the Reliant, right? People who didn't have the Reliant, they would just go kill all the auto farming Reliants and just steal the loot. That's certainly an option here that I think we'll see. And then I think we just got Hammy just wrapping it up there. So good job, Hammy. We'll give you a thumbs up. Hit it. Yeah. And we'll look forward to see what's coming out of here next. Yeah, the dailies are for killing new hostiles that are level appropriate. And I think that's going to be a challenge, even if you have the new ship, right? When has a tier 1 ship ever been able to hit G6 level hostiles, right? You build the thing at 51, so it's technically a G5 ship to start with. So when does a tier 1 right out of the box ever really do much of stuff above its top level, right? So how much are you going to have to spend to upgrade the ship, even if you buy it for $100? If you're a high G6 player or a G7 player, is this, $200 or $300 more in upgrade packs to get it to the point where now it can at least kill things of your relative level so you can do those dailies? Is it more than that? Is it surprisingly good at tier 1? It seemed like it was getting some pretty big bonuses. Heavy blinked. That's always a nice touch. So yeah, so as usual, the video with the spoiler leaves a lot more questions than it answers. It gave us some nice little hints about what's going on with the upcoming arc, but it's also leaving us with a lot of and I don't have any information about specific values and things like that. So I'll be just as surprised as the rest of you come Tuesday morning when we see everything in game and go try and hit those hostiles and get blown up horribly. You know, are they gonna have immunity to the Borg cutting beam and the GS-31? Probably. Otherwise, it kind of defeats the purpose of having a one-trick pony ship with high special values. If you're like, I can just bypass this by just zapping them. No leaks. Yes, I'm not detecting any leak.